Hurricane Irma makes landfall in Caribbean. The most powerful Atlantic Ocean hurricane in recorded history has made landfall in the Caribbean. The eye of Hurricane Irma passed over Barbuda around 1:47 a.m., the National Weather Service said. Irma was maintaining Category 5 strength with sustained winds near 185 miles per hour, 295 km/h, the U.S. National Hurricane Center said. The storm brought fierce winds, surf and rain to the Leeward Islands on Wednesday. "We are hunkered down and it is very windy. The wind is a major threat," said Garfield Burford, the director of news at ABS TV and radio on the island of Antigua, south of Barbuda. So far, some roofs have been blown off. Most people on Antigua and Barbuda were without power and 1,000 people on Antigua were spending the night in shelters, Burford reported. "It's very scary. Most of the islands are dark, so it's very, very frightening," he said. The storm is currently heading towards Florida and may make landfall there at the weekend, but its precise path is uncertain. If it hits Florida, it will be the second powerful storm to hit the U.S. mainland in 2 weeks after Hurricane Harvey caused widespread devastation. Hurricane Irma, the most powerful Atlantic Ocean hurricane in recorded history, made landfall early Wednesday in the Caribbean islands. At the far northeastern edge of the Caribbean, authorities on the Leeward Islands of Antigua and Barbuda cut power and urged residents to shelter indoors as they braced for Hurricane Irma's first contact with land early Wednesday. The Category 5 storm had maximum sustained winds of 185 meters (ph), according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami. The National Weather Service said the eye of Hurricane Irma passed over Barbuda around 1:47 a.m. Residents said over local radio that phone lines went down as the eye passed. Weather officials said Irma was maintaining Category 5 strength with sustained winds and appears to be heading on a west-northwest path toward Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Haiti and Cuba before possibly heading for Florida over the weekend. On the 108-square-mile island Antigua, people who live in low-lying areas were staying with friends and relatives on higher ground or sleeping in churches, schools and community facilities built to withstand hurricanes. None of the shelters have yet been tested by Category 5 winds, however. Many homes in Antigua and Barbuda are not built on concrete foundations or have poorly constructed wooden roofs that are susceptible to wind damage. Other islands in the path of the storm included the Virgin Islands and Anguilla, a small, low-lying territory of about 15,000 people. President Trump declared emergencies in Florida, Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and authorities in the Bahamas said they would evacuate 6 southern islands. Warm water is fuel for hurricanes and Irma is over water that is 1.8 degrees warmer than normal. The 79-degree water that hurricanes need goes about 250 feet deep, said Jeff Masters, meteorology director of the private forecasting service Weather Underground. 4 other storms have had winds as strong in the overall Atlantic region, but they were in the Caribbean Sea or the Gulf of Mexico, which are usually home to warmer waters that fuel cyclones. Hurricane Allen hit 190 miles per hour in 1980, while 2005's Wilma, 1988's Gilbert and a 1935 Great Florida Key storm all had 185 miles per hour winds. The northern Leeward Islands were expected to see waves as high as 11 feet, while the Turks and Caicos Islands and southeastern Bahamas could see towering 20-foot waves later in the week, forecasters said. Bahamas Prime Minister Hubert Minnis said his government was evacuating the 6 islands in the south because authorities would not be able to help anyone caught in the potentially catastrophic wind, flooding and storm surge. People there would be flown to Nassau starting Wednesday in what he called the largest storm evacuation in the country's history. "The price you may pay for not evacuating is your life or serious physical harm," Minnis said. The National Weather Service said Puerto Rico had not seen a hurricane of Irma's magnitude since Hurricane San Felipe in 1928, which killed a total of 2,748 people in Guadalupe, Puerto Rico, and Florida. "The dangerousness of this event is like nothing we've ever seen," Puerto Rico Gov. Ricardo Rossello said. "A lot of infrastructure won't be able to withstand this kind of force.